Hi all, welcome to the channel and welcome to my video on Demonologist Total Beginner Guide. If you've ever played the game before, you're not going to learn anything new. This is simply for people who are brand new to the game. Maybe they've tried a game and struggled. I might have some information for you that will help you on your very first mission. So what I think I'll discuss first are some very simple checks that you need to make when you first run the game. So we'll head over to settings and just have a look at a few things that you might need to pay attention to. Video settings, guys, just customize it for yourself. Make sure you've got the right resolution and full screen mode for atmosphere. Graphics, whatever your computer can handle. I would point out here that the technology defaults to Fidelity, AMD Fidelity, which if you haven't got an AMD card, it would probably be worth turning off. Gameplay, just make sure you've got the right language selected. So audio, guys, this one is important. I suggest that for input mode, you change it to voice activation. I believe it uses an input key normally. This makes life a little bit easier for you. Make sure you've got your right output device selected and the correct input device. Input device is extremely important. I'm talking about the speech recognition input device at the bottom of the screen there. This is used by the spirit box to communicate with a ghost. If the computer can't hear you because you've got the wrong device selected, then you can't interact with a ghost in certain situations, and you're at a big disadvantage. So yeah, plug a mic in, guys, and make sure that you've got the right input device selected. That's my takeaway from this. So at the beginning of the game, guys, you'll have 3 screens available to you. The middle screen that I'm showing here is your main screen, and it allows you to start a new game in single player mode, multiplayer, a little bit of information on how to play. Very basic, it's a write-up. The settings where I've just gone through what's available to you. Credits and quit. So I classify this as the main screen. You have a choice now, single player, multiplayer. I think that's pretty obvious what the difference is. I'm going to start off here by selecting single player. I forgot to mention, press E, guys. The default key is E to interact with the game world, including the screens. So if we go to the left screen now, you'll see a maps available. This is because we've started a new single player game. Now, you may only see one map, Abandoned House. That's the first one that's available to new players. Once you level up, gain more ranks, you unlock the rest of the maps. So tick that Abandoned House and then click the back button at the bottom of the screen. Back to the main menu, and you should see that your username is there and you're now ready to start a new game. I just want to briefly talk about difficulty levels. You don't have access to medium and hard until you level up. I believe it's level 5 for medium, level 10 for hard. So don't be surprised that when you first start the game, you've only got easy mode available. The difficulties affect things like the how quick the ghost is to start hunting, how hard it is to identify the ghost, how easy or difficult it is to get the ghost to give you evidence. This is where you start the game, but we're just going to come out and have a look at the right-hand screen to see what's in there. This shows you all kinds of information, such as the tools available to you in the game. I'll go through those when we're actually in the game itself. But a lot of these are locked out. You won't have access to them. You have to earn money to purchase them. There are some that are free at the beginning of every game, which is great. We've also got the customization of the character. You can play around there. You can buy a new safe house. You can buy items for the safe house. If you fancy a cat, well, if you can get nearly $7,000, you can have one. What you'll want to do on this screen is assign any tools that you want to use in the mission to your loadout on the left-hand side. So here you can see I can select the candle and crucifix because I've bought them. I have them stocked on the right-hand side, so I can move them across to my loadout, which makes them available during the match itself. Now, don't get worried by the fact that when you begin the game, probably those are all zero. The items towards the top of the inventory will be available to you when you get into the game. You're given them for free. But yeah, eventually when you buy tools, this is where you put them in your loadout. And again, you'll notice there's a buy and sell button. This is where you buy those tools in the first place. If you sell items, they sell at half the price you bought them at, so be careful with that. This is the default safe house. Yep, you can decorate it. So now we've selected our map, we've selected our difficulty, we can click on the start button to get going with our first game. So as you can see, we'll start loading into the abandoned house. So loading in, you'll be placed into a tent which contains all the tools available to you that you selected from the loadout screen, plus the free ones that you're given at the beginning of every match. You also have another 3 screens. I think we'll take a look at those, and I'll pause the video. I hope you can make out the wording on this screen, but it tells you your objectives, and it's split into 3 different sets of objectives. So you can see by the lock symbol that we only have the first set of objectives unlocked. In order to unlock the second and third set of objectives, we need to complete the first objective. So this one is detect the type of ghost. It's pretty simple. We need to find the ghost in one of the rooms. We need to work out, based on evidence, what type of ghost it is. And then we have to use our tablet to identify that ghost. We need to make a selection. Once we've done that, the second set of objectives would unlock. The more objectives you complete, the more money you earn at the end of the mission. It can be quite lucrative to, instead of just completing the first set of objectives and then leaving, to actually stay and try and do the remaining ones. It really can add up. But obviously, to do the remaining objectives, it means staying in the map longer. It means staying with the ghost longer, which adds to the danger. But hey, you get rewarded for it with more money. To start off with, I would do a few games just concentrating on objective 1, identifying the ghost. Once you get used to that, once you become better at it, then attempt the other objectives. Moving on to the second screen, shows you a camera. There's a camera outside the tent. If we had more cameras, it would show more. So this is our sanity screen, guys. This shows us the amount of sanity that we have as a player. I'll explain a little bit now about the sanity mechanics. So you always start a mission off at 100% sanity. Okay, forget the fact it says 99% there. It kind of fluctuates between 99, 98 and 100. Okay, but take the average and that's your sanity level. So as you play the game, your sanity will drop. Okay, it drops as you walk around the house in darkness. It drops when the ghost starts to interact with you, when it starts to throw things, when it starts to speak to you, so on. These things drain sanity. Once sanity reaches a certain level, it's more likely that the ghost is going to hunt you. Okay? So if you're familiar with this style of game, normally after a period of time, the ghost will be angry. It won't want you in its presence anymore, and it will begin to actively try to kill you. That's called a hunt. We'll see a couple of those later on, but for the moment, just understand that your sanity starts off at 100%, and as you go through the game, it will start to drop. And the lower it gets, the more likely it is that a ghost will hunt you. Now, the level at which it drops to before a ghost hunts is different per ghost. Some ghosts who are known to be extremely aggressive, the demons and especially the revenants, they will hunt you very quickly. In fact, I think they practically ignore sanity. They can hunt you right at the beginning of a map. Okay. But other ghosts have a little bit more of a threshold. Maybe they won't hunt you until you get past 50%. I don't know. I don't have all the stats available to me, but the sanity mechanic is important. If you can, keep the lights on in the rooms. That's important because it slows down the rate at which you lose sanity. Okay. Now the candle item that you can buy, that also can protect your sanity, but it's honestly, I've tested it. It doesn't really make much of a difference. Okay. I wouldn't bother buying a candle and walking around with it. If I'm honest, it doesn't make too much difference. So yeah, this is where you check your sanity levels. As you go out and into the house and come back again to collect more tools, it's definitely worth having a quick look at this screen to see what's happening. I don't want to talk about this too much, but I'll just give one more little example. The Hand 2. The Hand 2 ghost, when you read its description, it will target one individual, and when it whispers to them, when it talks to them, it diminishes their sanity greatly. So if you're in a multiplayer game and you notice that one player has massively less sanity than anyone else, then maybe think about the Hand 2, go read its description and work out if maybe you agree with me and think that might be a candidate ghost. Anyway, so moving back to the other side, these are the tools available to us to do our investigation. Some of them are free, some of them we had to pay for. So this is the EMF tool, guys. It's one of the tools that's given to you for free. It's extremely useful. I do have a little guide on it. Maybe you can find it. It beeps when it detects ghost activity, and it gives you a number of how strong that activity is. And what you're looking for here is a couple of things. So use number one, guys, walk around the house with it. If the ghost does anything, this tool will pick that up. And as you point this tool in any one direction, if you see any numbers or hear any beeping occur, then that's the direction that the ghost is in. So it helps you locate what room the ghost is in, okay? The second thing about this tool is it's also used for evidence. If that number beeps 5 and you get a loud noise, that means that the EMF device has found a level 5 EMF ghost, and that's a piece of evidence. You go into your tablet, you tick that EMF evidence, that's an EMF level 5 sensitive ghost. Okay, so yeah, a really useful tool. Take it with you at the beginning of every match. Ecto Glass tool, guys. Another really, really useful device. Again, I've got a guide out about this. So what this does is lets you see certain evidences. Some ghosts leave ectoplasm around the room that they haunt. Ectoplasm is like a little white glob that's normally on the wall or on surfaces. The only way to see it is to use the ectoplasm device. So the way you use it is once you've found the ghost location, pull this out, hold the left click button, you'll peer through the center of the device and just point it all around the room. Look at the walls, look at surfaces, and you're looking for a little glowy kind of substance on the walls. Can be hard to find, but generally it's not too much of a problem. It's also used for certain objectives. So in the first map, the abandoned house, there's an objective where you have to find a ghost sitting in a chair. It could be anywhere in the house, and you can't see it normally. The only way to find it is to run around the whole house using this device to look through. It's quite a fun one. I quite like it. The ghost appears in certain spots, so once you know where these certain spots are, it's not too hard to find. But yeah, if you didn't have an Ecto Glass, you wouldn't be able to find that ghost, and you wouldn't be able to complete the objective. Yeah, really useful. Use it every game. Basic torch, guys. Always pick it up. Don't forget, it's very dark in these houses. You do need this torch. The candle is not a replacement for the torch. You need to bring this with you. So yeah, bog standard torch, bring it with you. The spirit box. Now this is a fun one. You can talk to the ghost using this device. Not all ghosts, only ones that communicate through spirit boxes, which is another evidence type. So the way it works is you wander into a room, the one where the ghost is located, and you hold the left mouse button so it brings it up to your face, and you speak into the microphone. Remember, you might also have to press a key if you've got the press to talk functionality enabled. But yeah, basically, you talk into this, you ask it questions. So, for example, where are you? Or what's your name? And wait for a response. Now, you can hear ghosts without using the spirit box. The ghosts can talk. So when you speak into this device, you might hear the ghost respond back to you. However, if you hear the ghost respond and a light doesn't appear at the top of this device, then it's not a spirit box ghost evidence. Okay? The light is that black ghost symbol. You can see it on the screen there. That black ghost symbol changes to a bright blue. And the spirit box makes like a static noise. That's the only way to confirm that that's a spirit box evidence ghost. Look for that blue light to appear. Okay. Yeah, so it's an evidence tool. I've tried using it for locating the ghost. It's not reliable. It's best used when you've got the ghost's location and you're looking for that one piece of evidence. Good stuff. The ESG device. I've got a love-hate relationship with this tool. It's quite difficult to use. Let me explain what it does. You plop it down using your G key in the middle of a room, and it's supposed to make the ghosts more active, and I believe that's against all ghosts, not just the ones that are ESG sensitive. So you drop it down in the middle of a room, the ghost becomes more active, which means it should be easier to find evidence. Okay, so if you're looking for that fingerprint or you're looking for that ectoplasm, it should appear quicker with this device on the floor. Its second use is for evidence. Some ghosts are sensitive to this device, and when you plop it down in the middle of the room, they will become angry, want to hunt you quicker. Also, they'll appear. Okay, and I've had them appear in a number of different ways. I've had them run at you, right? And I've also had them appear floating above this ESG device. So what you want to do is keep an eye on it. Once you put this device down, spend a good minute or so staring at it. And if you notice the ghost flicker above it, become visible, then there's your evidence. It's a hit and miss. You have to put it down somewhere where the ghost is going to walk, which is quite difficult to do in some of the bigger rooms. Okay, this is the evidence that I fall back on because it's so hard to use. If I'm looking for that last piece of evidence and I can't find it, I normally fall back on this one and I say, okay, I'm going to predict it's an ESG sensitive ghost because this is the one that I struggle with the most. That's that. The ultraviolet lantern, a nice simple one. It's used to find handprints and fingerprints. Handprints and fingerprints are left by certain ghosts, and they normally appear on light switches and door handles. So if you hear the sound of a light switch or see a door open and close, then grab this tool off the floor. If you've got it in the room, run over to that door and look around it. Hopefully you'll see some sort of a handprint appear. Really useful, very easy to use. The only trouble you can have is if you're in a room that's got very little in the way of light switches or doors. Some corridor ghosts basically are nowhere near a door, which is rather annoying. So the only evidence you can collect with this is if it touches the light switches, which sometimes they're reluctant to do. But yeah, it's a very simple, very easy one. Going to the easel now, guys. It's another pretty simple one. Similar to the ESG device, you drop this down in the middle of a room and certain ghosts will attempt to draw pictures on it, which is nice. Can be a little bit difficult, similar to ESG, as in if you don't put it in the right position, the ghost will ignore it. I'm also not sure as to whether some ghosts will wait until you've left the room before they draw on it. I can't confirm that, but it might be worth, leaving the room to see if it actually does the drawing. So those are the only tools you've got available to you when you first start the game. The other tools I've got here I'll talk about in a later video. You won't have access to them right at the beginning. So let's skip ahead to what you should use when you first begin the game. So I loaded up a new game, guys, and I've only got the basic equipment. I'm going to use the EMF Reader first. I'm going to take a torch and I'm going to take the Ecto Glass. I recommend those as your initial tools when you start a game. Okay, I'm just having a look at my screens to see what's going on. And then I'm heading into the house. During editing, guys, I realised I might have missed some information here. Step 1 of this game is to locate the demon. To do that, I'm planning on walking the house with the EMF tool. I'm looking to locate the ghost. Once I have located the ghost, I will drop all my tools. Okay, apart from the torch. You can only carry 2 tools plus your torch. So I'm going to have to drop whatever 2 tools that I walked in with. I'll then head back to the tent and I'll get more tools. You need tools to gain evidence. Don't take too long with your first set of tools trying to find evidence. As quick as you can, put those tools down, run back, and get your next set of equipment. If you have a crucifix, and they're very expensive, I think they're about $2,000. Later on, when you have a crucifix, the first thing you should do is move that crucifix into the house. You might want to do that as step 1. The reason is that when a hunt starts, the front doors lock. Whoever's inside the house will be locked inside. They cannot leave. If you've got a crucifix, and the job of a crucifix is to protect you in a hunt, the ghost can't kill you if it gets a hold of you. That crucifix is useless if it's outside the house and you are locked in. So job number 1, get that crucifix, put it inside the doorway of the house. That way if the doors lock in a hunt, you've got it there available to you. Thank you. Shift to sprint. You can't sprint very far, but you do recover after a while. So again, as I explained, the EMF Reader is a great tool. And what you'll want to do now is try and locate the ghost. The ghost should be located in one room. There are some ghosts that move between 2 rooms, but generally they're in one single room. So here I am walking around trying to identify in what room the ghost is. Ignore the creaking, that's all atmospheric. That doesn't help you identify where the ghost is located. I'm just going to go through all the rooms, turning on any light switches that I find, but be warned, sometimes the light switches will blow. Okay, here I am in the hallway, moving through. I'm going to try this room on the left. Get familiar with the buildings, you know, maybe on your first go, have a run around the house, try and identify the rooms, work out. Yeah, okay, did you notice that the EMF device I'm holding didn't beep? It didn't indicate any signal. That's because that's a jump scare, that's a scripted jump scare. Okay, the game is full of them. That doesn't indicate that the ghost is in that room, okay? That jump scare is scripted. If my EMF device buzzes, then I know that's an actual interaction with a ghost and I know I'm in the right room. That laughing, it's scripted, okay? So I'm ignoring it. It's creepy. But ignore it, the EMF device is doing nothing. So nothing so far. EMF device has picked up 0. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. So going down into the basement, you hear that? Yep. That's the ghost, and the EMF device is immediately picking up on the fact there was activity. A door closes. If only I had the lantern to have a look for fingerprints. But yeah, we've definitely found the location now. So I'm taking out the ectoplasm tool, my second tool. I'm having a look around. I'm looking for any signs of ectoplasm on the wall. Again, it appears as a... Oh, that's creepy. That's creepy. It appears as a shiny substance on the walls, but there is none. I'm just double checking with the EMF device again. I'm seeing 4s, but I'm not seeing the number 5. The number 5 is important. That's the only EMF evidence when you see a number 5. I'm now heading back to the tent as I don't have any tools left. We need to get some more. Right, I've grabbed the lantern and I've also grabbed the spirit box device. I'm going back down to that same room. The ghost will be here, it won't wander. So I'm having a look at the door. We've got a handprint. That is what a handprint looks like. There's our first bit of evidence. Fantastic stuff. So I drop it down. I go into my J, evidence. I tick fingerprint. So as you may have noticed there, the moment I ticked fingerprint, the list on the left hand side filtered. It's showing me only the demons that have the fingerprint as a type of evidence. A tick in that box indicates evidence that you've seen. A cross out, so if I was to click that again, it would cross out fingerprint. That is me indicating that I am sure it doesn't have that evidence type. So yeah, I've ticked fingerprint, which is exactly what I should do. Use this to filter that list down. Anytime you find evidence, make sure you tick it or cross it off. It's narrowed down the amount of ghosts available. I'm checking again, EMF 5. Nope, not seeing it, still a 4. Let's talk to it. Where are you? There we go, blue symbol, that's important. Blue symbol, we've got a spirit box ghost. We've narrowed it down to 3 ghosts. I'm now going to tick each evidence that we don't know about in turn. If when I tick it, no ghost is available, then I cross off that evidence. It can't be that type of ghost. Just pausing the video because I rushed that a little bit. When I ticked EMF level 5, no ghost was available. There are no ghosts that match fingerprint, spirit box, and EMF level 5. So I've ruled it out. I've crossed it off. That's what that line means. Okay? There's no point me checking for level 5 anymore. The same goes for ectoplasm stains. There were no ghosts that have spirit box response, fingerprint, and ectoplasm stains. So there's no point me looking for that anymore. I cross it off. That leaves me only with the Easel canvas freezing temps in ESG. What I need to do is get the Easel, and what I need to do is get the ESG ghost device. That'll help me get the last piece of evidence. So long story short, guys, I get those 2 devices, come back, and this happens. Yep, I died. That ghost killed me within the first 5 minutes of me being in the game. That's very unusual, especially on easy mode. So you see at the bottom it says correct ghost type, Tay. Let's have a look at what a Tay's description says. So I go in, I look at my Tay. The Tay is known as a ghost who can distort the concept of time. As a Tay ages quickly, it's impossible to know their age. Strengths. A Tay has been known to be much more aggressive and fast when they are young and slower when they are old. What that basically says is it's a dangerous ghost early in the game and less dangerous later in the game. Okay, so I had a ghost that was violent at the beginning of the map. It happens. Okay, it caught me off guard. I should have run a little bit sooner, but hey, that's the whole point of this game. It's a horror survival. Sometimes you don't survive. Move on. So I load up another game. What I'll do here is skip the finding of the ghost and try and get back to basically where we were before. So I find the ghost, guys. It's here. In the hallway. You'll see the chair starts to move. As I go closer, I get my beeping. EMF device does it again. Now I believe I noticed something else as well. I've got the ectoplasm tool out. I'm having a look. Looking for the sign on the wall of ectoplasm. Not seeing it, but I'm noticing frozen breath. Do you see the breath there? Yeah, that's frozen breath, so that's freezing temperatures. There's one bit of evidence. But no sign of ectoplasm. So let's skip ahead. So I'm back with the spirit box. And I think the lantern. Where are you? What's your name? Where are you? I'm seeing no blue light. Don't be shy. Where are you? Can you see me?
Can you see me?
I can't see you. Can you see me? Video pause again, guys. It responded to me, but no light appeared on top of the spirit box. Even though the ghost responded back to me, and it actually responded back quite well, it answered my question, the light didn't come on. So this is not a spirit box sensitive ghost, at least at the moment. Sometimes they respond back to you, the light doesn't come on, but later on it does. So still keep trying, okay? But do not mark this as an spirit box sensitive ghost, not at the moment. Wow. I'm having no luck, guys. What is going on? I am having ghosts hunt me within the first 5 minutes of both games now. I'm trying to make a tutorial video here, then they're just not playing ball. Okay, let me just explain what's happened here. My torch flashed, and then I heard a sound of the ghost being angry. That flashing torch is an indication that a hunt is starting. The moment the flashing stops, the hunt is on and the ghost is coming for you. So the first thing I did was I turned around and I headed out of that room. Now it's going to be chasing you, and it follows you based on its vision, okay, and sound. So make sure you don't talk. Run away and try and lose sight of the ghost. So here I'm heading towards the living room with the kitchen on the left-hand side. I know that that's a good place to lose the ghost. The kitchen and the living room are basically connected. You can go into the living room, lose line of sight with a ghost, and if the ghost was to follow you into the living room, you can run around into the kitchen. Okay, you can run circles around the living room and the kitchen and the hallway. You can go in circles, and the ghost will eventually give up, turn away, and run. You need to learn the maps to understand how to get away from the ghost, where the best place to go is. This game doesn't have phasmophobia, hiding places. It doesn't have cupboards you can go into. If you get hunted, you have to try and run away and break line of sight. And on this map, the best place to go is the living room, where you can go between there and the kitchen based on the movements of the ghost. Just watch and you'll see what I mean. So I break line of sight. I move into this little room here, and I'm looking. Oh, you see the flashing light? That indicates it's in the living room now. So I move away from the living room, keeping an eye on the hallway. However, I think it's found me again. Yep, there we go. It's found me again, flashing. That noise indicates it's the end of the hunt. Now you might be asking, why was it I didn't escape the house? Why didn't I just leave through this door? During a hunt, that door's locked. You cannot get out. Okay, when the hunt is on, you cannot leave the house. You're locked in. Here I'm indicating Revenant. I really think this is a Revenant. The Revenant in this game is the most violent, aggressive ghost. It can hunt at any time. It can hunt within the first few minutes of you being in the room. Okay, sorry, in the house. So I'm thinking this is a Revenant. Demons are also aggressive, but Revenant at the moment is ridiculous. I also have one piece of evidence only, and that one piece of evidence is part of a Revenant. So yeah, interesting. I'm glad that it hunted actually. I got to show it to you. So here I'm returning with the Easel and the ESG device. These are my hit and miss tools. Really, the developers need to do a bit of tweaking with these two. It's sometimes extremely difficult to get the ghost, spirit, demon to interact with them. This is easy mode that we're in at the moment. It shouldn't be difficult. Now, one of the evidences for finding a Revenant is that it interacts with the easel. It's supposed to draw a picture. In the next few clips you'll see I move this easel around like crazy inside that room. Lights are flashing, guys. It's time to do a runner. So skipping ahead here, guys, I struggle to find any evidence other than the freezing temperatures. I've selected Revenant here because of how aggressive this ghost is. It hunted me 3 times within the first 10 minutes of me joining the game. This is definitely a revenant. So what I'm doing now is I'm taking the Ecto Glass and I'm walking around the house. I'm looking for a ghostly silhouette. This is one of the objectives of the map. Once you've identified the ghost, the second set of objectives appear, and one of them is to find the ghostly silhouette, which is a lady sitting in a chair. So as you can see, I'm holding the ectoplasm glass in front of my hands, and I'm looking for this ghostly silhouette. I believe I find it just down these stairs. So this is an optional objective. There's no need for me to do this. There's the silhouette, and you hear this little noise that tells you you've completed the objective. This I could have left before this. I could have identified the ghost and then left in the car, but doing that extra objective earns you a little bit of extra money. I suggest doing it if you've got the time and the guts. It's hunting me again. Fourth time. This is definitely a revenant, so we'll skip to the end. So after the hunt, instead of returning to the tent, there's a car nearby, and by opening the car door, you leave the map. Pausing the video again. By going to the center screen, it gives you a report on the mission. Find the correct ghost type. There's some money there. It was a revenant. They've given us $600. Find the sitting human silhouette. $50. That's the objective that we did right at the end there. It might not sound like a lot, $50, but I didn't have to do very much. I just travelled around with the Ecto Glass. I really think it's worth doing in the long run. So the objectives that we didn't do, have the ghost blow out a candle, take a solid picture of the ghost, an exorcism. They all require additional equipment which you do not have. Have the ghost blow out a candle. You need a candle. A candle costs $600. By completing this mission, we've earned enough money to buy the candle, which means the next time we play this map, we can do that additional objective of have it blow the candle out. So I think what I'll do is I'll skip ahead to the next mission where we attempt that last objective. So this is a little bit later on in the next game, guys. I'm looking for my last bit of evidence. I'm almost certain it's an ESG ghost. I'm putting it down to double check. A little bit of a jump scare. This is a djinn. I select it, I confirm, and we're on to the second stage of objectives. Again, we're looking for the silhouette. I do need to do that. Now, back there you saw a candle. I put a lit candle on the desk. I'm hoping that while I'm away investigating, trying to find the silhouette, that the ghost will blow that candle out, because that is one of the objectives. Have the ghost blow out a candle. Leave a candle in its room. There's the silhouette. Leave a candle in its room and just wait for it to blow it out. What I'll do is I'll skip ahead. I end up, here I find that the ghost hasn't blown the candle out. So I move it, I place it in different parts of the room, and I'm talking to it. Skipping ahead just a couple of minutes, I'm still trying to get it to blow my candle out. I'm leaving the room in case it's a shy ghost. Maybe it'll blow the candle out when I'm not around. I think in the end I decide to just try talking to it. Blow out the candle, blow out the candle, blow out the candle, come on. There. It blew the candle out. You heard a little noise and the candle went out. That simple. So now we've done the silhouette with the Ecto Glass. We've identified the ghost. And we've had it blow out the candle. That should be a good old chunk of money. Let's head out of this map. So here we are back at base, and you can see in the center there, we managed to get the ghost to blow out the candle. That's an extra $100. You can't do this on mission 1. It requires a candle. So as a rundown to your first mission, guys, number 1, locate the ghost. Go in there with an EMF reader. I find that one helps the best. Locate that ghost. Right, go back to the tent, pick up more tools, come back, try and locate that evidence, handprints, speak to it, whatever. Try and identify that ghost, which is step number 2. Once identified, run around the house with the Ecto Glass. Hopefully you've got the time. Hopefully the ghost is not too active. Run about, locate that ghostly silhouette. Once you've found it, job done. Head back towards the tent, jump in the car, mission complete. And fingers crossed you've managed to identify the correct ghost. And you've got a lovely $600 or so in your pocket. With that $600, guys, buy a candle. That should be your first purchase. Repeat the mission. Do it again. Take that candle with you. Get the evidence of the ghost. Identify it. Use the glass. Find the silhouette. And do this extra step of have it blow the candle out. There are additional objectives such as the exorcism and taking a picture of the ghost. To take a picture, you need a camera. The camera costs $1,400. You're going to need to run through these missions multiple times before you've got that amount of money. This is a beginner's guide, so I'll just briefly say that once you buy the camera and you've done the candle and you've done the Ecto Glass, found the silhouette, the ghost will start to appear in front of you randomly. And if you can, snap a picture of it with a camera. That will get that objective complete. Then that opens up the ability to exorcise or banish the demon. That's pretty simple on this map. If you were to read it, it basically says that you look for 5 demonic fingers. They could be anywhere. They could be on the floor, on a surface. They couldn't be in any room. So you have to search the house again and just look for these fingers. They flash a little bit, but they can be hard to see. You don't need an Ecto Glass. You just look for them normally. Find those 5 fingers. You can only carry 2 at a time. And burn them downstairs in the basement. There's some pots in the basement of that map. Burn those fingers. And if you do all 5, you'll banish the demon. And that's a complete map completion. I believe you get about $1,500, $1,600 for a full map completion. So, yeah, if you can do it, good stuff. You'll be rolling in the money. Yeah, that's my basic guide on what to do as a beginner in this game. Concentrate on those objectives on map 1. Especially concentrate on gathering evidence. Play with the tools. If you just take the free tools with you, the ones that you're given for free, then don't worry about dying. You're not going to lose experience. You're not going to lose any money by dying, unless, of course, you take with you items that you've purchased. If you take items you've purchased on a mission and you die, you will lose them. You will also lose them if you quit the game. So a word of warning, if you're in the middle of a mission and you've got a lot of equipment with you, you're going to have to complete that mission. If you need to leave for some reason, for real life, then I suggest going into the journal, selecting a random demon, running back to the car and not caring whether you got it right or get it wrong. If you quit the mission halfway through without selecting a demon, then you'll lose all your equipment. Okay? Yeah, that's basically it. I mean, have fun with it, guys. It is a jump scare game. It is a horror game, so kind of enjoy it. The AI is relatively clever at times. So, as you saw with The Revenant, try and work out the way that these ghosts act. Try and find their clues that aren't exactly evidence. The Revenant is an extremely violent ghost. I was able to select it there because of just how violent it was. If you notice your sanity dropping fast, maybe it's a Hantu, a ghost that targets sanity. These other bits of information that you build up over time will really help you in this game at the higher difficulties where evidence is a little bit harder to come around. So yeah, that's my beginner guide. It's my beginner advice. I do have some more videos where I talk more about the tools, so please go and have a look. I'm starting to play the hard difficulty now myself. I'll have some videos out on hard difficulty. They're a lot of fun, a lot of running. So yeah, please check it out. Let me know in comments if there's anything I've missed, anything you feel I should add, and I'll try and work them in. So yeah, thanks very much, and take care. Happy hunting.